Tij Iginla, and of course, Kelowna Rockets, the son of Jerome Iginla, certainly that gets you that credibility, that instant credibility when you're the son of an NHL legend. People are automatically rooting for you. But I think for me in particular, and I think for a lot of people, you want to make sure that you take that little pause and you don't kind of get too high or too low on a player based on the name recognition. What I have to say about Tij Iginla is that he is absolutely rising to the occasion. He's exceeding expectations, and he continues getting better. And that's the most important thing. The reason that Tij Iginla is a rising prospect for me, and he comes in at number 16 on the rankings, which might seem a little bit low. I think he's trending up, even in NHL boards, you're going to see him a little bit higher. But I think 16, I think mid first round is really the range that he's going to go in. He's still growing into his body, still can get a little bit bigger, kind of comes in 6 foot, a little under 190 pounds. I mean, that's a good frame to grow into, and I think he's going to be a solid player. But what I really like is he's got great deception, really good hands. He's got quickness with the hands. I think the feet are coming along nicely. I still think that if he can add a gear to his skating, it's going to make a big difference in his game and in his effectiveness as a potential top 6 scorer. But I think the goal scoring sense that he's shown this year, the ability to get pucks to the middle of the ice, the compete level, all of that looks great. And then on top of that, I always think when you do have a player that is the son of a professional, a former professional, especially one that was a captain of an organization, a guy who was in the media spotlight, a guy who was on the cover of video games. I mean, we're talking about one of the elite talents of his generation in Jerome Iginla. There's so much that can be absorbed by the player from just a professionalism standpoint, how they carry themselves, how they deal with the media, all these other things that other players might not have as much of a focus on at a younger age. This is something that Tij at least experienced for a portion of his childhood, being able to, his dad's career still extended into, so he was conscious for that. And so many NHL players have kids after their careers, and their kids don't necessarily get a chance to see them play. Tij Iginla is the guy that he's seen a lot of it. And so I think that's really impressive, that kind of thing can happen. And we've seen it with so many players over the years that have done some really cool things. So that's one of the guys that, I wanted to focus on. And I think if he continues producing at the rate that he is right now, I mean, there is a chance that he is going to go higher than that middle of the first round. But I think 16 right in the middle there. I think that's a good range for him. I think that's a range where teams are certainly going to be, more excited about him as a prospect, just given the talent of forwards up front and also the high level defensemen. I think there's going to be a real run on defensemen in the top 10, top 15. So that's why Tij kind of falls just outside of that. But I have a lot of time for that player. And it goes far beyond, who his dad is. I think that he has earned everything he's gotten this year. And I'm very impressed with his play thus far.